So Mappa has finally dropped their original anime that is about animators animating anime. I know that's a mouthful, but I was really looking forward to this off rip, and I was kind of blown away by this first episode. Now, we get right into it. We get introduced to our main character, Natsuko, and Natsuko, she is a person or animator that got her start really early in her age, right out of high school. She had this one really popular series, and now she's struggling with this new romance kind of thing that she's working on. It's nothing like what she has done previously, so she's kind of in this like creative slump. So off the rip, it's just like something you can kind of resonate, and it also has some interesting humor already injected into it. She mentions that one of her favorite movies, or her favorite I should say animated series, is called A Tale of Perishing, which plays into the main story. As she's eating, she ends up choking on something, or has maybe allergic reaction, but it seems like she's just kind of choking, and nobody knows how to deal with this whole situation. They're just watching her choke on whatever, and then all of a sudden her life begins to flash before her eyes and whatnot in a really dope animated sequence, and you see her as a little kid watching this series, or this movie, A Tale of Perish, on the big screen. And she also talks about how it was critically panned and it was received as like a flop. So really interesting meta stuff going on throughout this episode as well, how you could reflect it to modern entertainment and stuff like that. So that was really interesting. Then she ends up kind of snapping out of it, and now she ends up waking up in A Tale of Perishing, where she sees all her favorite characters, and she knows exactly what's going to happen to them. She doesn't know quite exactly why she's here, but like I said, this episode is really fast-paced, so they don't waste too much time, explaining things and getting to the point. But, she's even just in all of this place that she's in the actual movie, something that she has always loved. Now, is she dead? And she literally did become isekai, and I really like the self-awareness in this episode, in this series as a whole. They did something similar to that with the Harley Quinn Suicide Squad thing, of the whole self-acknowledging that you're in an isekai. But the interesting thing here is, now that she kind of knows what's coming, and their whole relationship of meeting this crew of the characters from this movie doesn't really go off really well, because none of them really believe her, or just they're really kind of rude to her pretty much. And it gets to the point where, in the climax of the movie, where certain characters are going to die, she realizes she has the power to change the story, as this thing that is brought to her. I'm drawing a blank on exactly what it was, but it was glowing up and it was talking to her, saying like, you could change the story, you could change the narrative. And then she ends up kind of tapping into this power, which, man, has one of the dopest like animated sequences, just a lot of bright vivid colors. And then this thing comes out of it, this big ass monster, to help wipe out the rest of the enemies that were overwhelming the heroes of this story. And so now she has changed the whole entire landscape of this story. So is there going to be kind of some drawback to that? Is there going to be consequences for that? Is this all kind of just in her head and she's kind of like in a coma, or is she really dead? But this thing was fucking amazing. I could watch this on repeat, and just off this sequence alone, I was just like, yeah, this has potential to be anime of the year. And so after kind of saving everybody, she pretty much passes out, and old boy kind of sees her in a different light, like, damn, she saved us. and she mentions that she's a animator. So that's pretty much how the episode ends off. But man, a lot of potential in this first episode. It shows off the humor, it shows off the premise, and it's a very interesting premise. Like, we've gotten a lot of isekais, but I think this is a very different take. In normally when we get animes, they have source material, like they are attached to a manga, but in this case, this is a completely original anime, which you don't normally see that nowadays. So that has me really interested to see where this series goes moving forward. And it's done by Mappa. So of all the different companies that could have done this, I feel like this is very suiting for Mappa, no, because they are known for overworking their animators and stuff. So yeah, let me know how you guys feel about this first episode. I thought it was a true banger. You know what I'm saying? I'm hooked. I need to see the next episode. But until next time, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.